We could talk about the game, but let's read some creepypastas.
Yeah, this is Nindefdo. It's pretty great. Hi. My name is Bill. Bill Smotsback.
What?
I feel bad for this man. I have a job working at Nintendo. 5 weeks ago, something in the office backfired. Let me tell you my experience with the monster inside my GameCube.
Experience.
And this is a recent story. This story can't be any more than like a year old. I was working in my office designing a stage for Sonic Lost Worlds.
Spelled with a Z.
I still hate it. No, they spelled with an S, which is not what the title is.
I hate it when people do that.
Like, when it was first announced, fine. Whatever. That's all we knew what it was called. But now, no excuse.
My brother
A game
my brother does it just to troll me.
A game that Nintendo and Sega have partnered up with to make. I hear read a large crack
What?
coming from the office in front of me. I ran over to investigate. There was tons of blood all around my coworker Dave's office.
Because software kills.
You realize that we are only 88 words into the story and we've already gotten to the blood.
That was
Right, so your pacing is already absolute shite.
Continue.
There was a trail of blood leading from his office to who knows where. I followed the trail and eventually found a dumpster.
Well, you work at this, so you're working at Nintendo, and you don't know where this trail of blood is leading, whereas you probably know the corridor of where it's probably leading to, where it'd be a process of elimination of the likely places which room the blood would be ending at.
I looked inside and I found Dave's twisted and mangled body inside.
How big is this?
That's a good question. I turned my head and puked for a good 30 seconds or so, and I imagine he does this like 30 seconds straight, no break in between. So it's basically just.
I was thinking that reminded me of Family Guy.
Yeah, just call this part Nindefdo.
Yeah.
Sure, why not?
I turned around to see my boss standing behind me with a Bruce on his shoulder.
Bruce Wayne?
Nah, like bruise, but spelled wrong.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I knew what he meant.
Wow.
This is arguably the most hilarious part. I mean, and the rest of it's pretty funny, but this one especially. He told me Dave hit him 15 times with an old GameCube saying, I quit.
What?
So
he handed me the
GameCube.
GameCube.
He handed GameCube 15 times, and all he had was a bruise.
A bruise on his shoulder. Yeah.
Whoa.
He handed me the GameCube saying, we don't have use for this GameCube since there are no more games to design for it. I was so happy when he handed me the GameCube that I almost jumped for joy. My favorite part is like... My favorite part is that this story released in 2013.
Wow.
GameCube was not supported for like the past 6 years?
Time travel.
No, the bit that's really got me in this is this guy was beating me to death with this GameCube, and I've only got a bruise from it. I
went back to my office anxious to try out my new GameCube. I opened up the top. I opened up the top to the top where you put the games in to look if there are any discs left in it, and sure enough, there wasn't. 5 hours later, work was over. I took my new GameCube, put it in my car, and started driving to the store to go pick up some new GameCube games. Other than like retro stores like Play and Trade, what store in 2013 sells GameCube games? Aside from the Kmart in my town where I found a brand new copy of Beautiful Joe 2.
I still need to play those games.
Yeah, that's the only place I can think of, but that's still pre-owned games.
Yeah.
As I was driving, the GameCube's top opened and a game Magic Lay appeared in there.
I'm dyslexic and I'm not that bad at spelling.
The light reflected off the disc and blinded my eyes. My
What?
eyes! I screamed. I crashed
shall
into a
drive.
tree. I crashed into a tree, and my car's front was totally destroyed. I was knocked out and unconscious outside. I had the disc lodged in my head.
What?
How did you write this?
How are you still?
I don't know.
How are you still breathing?
That's a good question. Luckily, someone spotted me and called 911, or else I would have been dead.
You probably would have
woke-
been dead already.
You were already dead because there's a disc lodged in the side of your head. You're unconscious. I'm pretty sure you can't breathe through an air padding. So, by the
I
time
woke up in the hospital with a huge scratch in my head where the disc was. It was 3 weeks I spent in that hospital.
You should be
I was
dead.
But how
I was
did
able-
he have a scratch when the disc was lodged in his skull?
They got rid of the disc, and therefore then he had a scratch, I guess.
'Tis but a scratch.
This is where the typos really go nuts.
Okay.
I was able to go 4 hours to get home mean. I was there for 4 weeks total. I walked out with no car because I had no car and I couldn't afford a new one.
Goodness. Oh man,
It
Strongbad
took
would
me
probably
1
have
hour
a field
for it.
day. Strongbad would have a field day making fun of all the typos.
What the
If you
hell,
know what I'm
man?
if you know what I'm talking about, you get a cookie.
I haven't seen spelling errors this bad since I read Homestar's book report.
Yes.
I've seen spelling errors this bad since I hand-writ an English essay.
It took me 1 hour to get to the store. I went in, and Relis said I had no money in my wallet.
Okay.
I spent another hour walking home. I walked in my front door and looked in the GameCube. I realized Super Mario Sunshine was in it.
Wait, but the GameCube was in the car, so how's it in his house?
That's a very good question, and it's never answered.
This guy.
Logic.
I'm guessing because this GameCube is magic, you can magically materialize the discs and shoot them into your throat.
Now, this also can only be explained by magic. I plugged in my GameCube and started it up. The guy never gave him the cords, he just gave him the GameCube.
That's
Yeah.
a good point.
So,
But instead of-
magically
but
appearing chords.
Yeah, but instead of Super Mario Sunshine on this title screen, it said Nindepto. I selected save slot 1, and instead of the opening cutscene, it was Dave, standing in my screen, looking at me.
What?
He said,
yes,
"Have
it
fun
was
with your."
also- He was looking at him with his eyes gouged out.
Yeah,
Sonic EXE, anyone?
this is better. This is actually way better than Sonic.exe.
I played
He said-
See, that game's terrible. And I know exactly why it's so bad.
Well, the game is
Christ.
fine. It's just an adaptation of a completely shit story.
Well, I mean, if you want
It just takes-
if you want a good version of, if you want a good game based off of Sonic EXE, play Ordinary Sonic One Round Hack.
He said, "Have fun with your new GameCube Nintendo. It's only a matter of time until you suffer the pain I did."
Okay.
Looking at the screen in horror, Dave pointed a pistol up to his head and shot himself. I had a power outage right after that, and it hasn't turned back on till this day. I still wonder what "it's only a matter of time until you suffer the pain I did" meant. And that's the end.
Ah,
So, literally,
well, that was
that's it.
something.
That's it.
Yep, that's how it ends.
Wow. So the guy hasn't continued at all.
I think the guy just couldn't be bothered to continue writing. He started writing the story, wanted to write to a point where, because he's just stopped giving a fuck after the 5th word, so he wrote up to a point where he could stop the story, and then posted it on the internet without even spell checking it.
Should we
Strike that,
do?
probably.
Should we do the other one for part 10?
Why?
Yeah.
All right.
Why not?
Okay, so,
With all the amazing shit in that one, it'd probably take up that part. So
Yeah.
most likely.
Yeah,
I'll see if I can. I will see if I can find any other creepypastas though.
I
People
got
watching
the
are
feel,
Seen-
I got the feeling the rest of this playthrough is going to resort to creepypasta readings.
Wait,
Well,
we have-
actually,
isn't there a Seas Brain creepypasta?
A Seas Brain.
I swear, there, at one stage there was one. Someone told me there was one. I'm sorry it was you.
Well, that was a mini boss.
And unless it was like joking around in the guest chat, I don't know.
No, I swear at one stage I was actually in the guest chat. So you said that apparently there was a seeds. Someone made a Seas Brain. Or was it someone should make one?
I think it was someone should make one.
Yeah.
That would be funny.
Because I know there's
Also,
a
if
ton
you really-
of creepypasta.
if you really want, I can read off all the different random, completely fucking stupid Sonic crossovers that are on fanfiction.net. I'm not gonna actually like read them, but I will read their ideas.
Oh, no, what we should do for the next part, we read the other creepypasta you have. And then the part after that, we read out Sonic crossover shit.
I will bring up the premise of this one real quick while we're in this video. It's called Sunlight, and it's a Sonic the Hedgehog and Ice Age crossover.
Oh, fun.
What? Okay,
horror
I'm at a
tragedy.
loss for words.
It's horror tragedy.
And it's called Sunlight.
I wouldn't be surprised if... Wait, what?
Here's the description. 16-year-old Megan Ellis returns home from school one day, only to discover that her mother has mysteriously gone missing. And to make things worse, a hole appears in her room, beckoning her inside. Joined by a group of new friends, including a blue hedgehog, Megan sets out to save her mother from a terrible fate.
I'm not sure how an
That's it.
Ice Age and how an Ice Age crossover would
I
work.
don't know.
Okay, so a magic portal opens into her room after she finds her parents have been kidnapped. So she hasn't even called 911, and she's just jumped through this dark portal, and then found Sonic
Yeah,
in the
fuck
company
it.
of Ice Age, and then they're now going to try and rescue her mother, who they don't even know is in there, and this could just be a bad trip for all they know.
Yeah, see, because the best part is that all makes
just about to
sense
mention-
around the fanfiction.
I was just about to mention, like, this sounds like Captain N,
I wouldn't be...
Except way worse.
the
I
Game
wouldn't-
Master.
I wouldn't be surprised if people watching this playthrough now are just like... Just see like a new part, just like, yes, more creepypastas.
But
I could probably imagine. Because that's probably what this playthrough is going to resort to. I mean, it's
It's
almost
like-
40 parts, so there's almost 40 parts. We've almost not nothing to talk about, so we're resorting to scraping the bottom of the barrel at this point.
We're just talking about whatever comes to mind, because you can't really talk about Pikmin 2 for 40 parts.
No.
Okay, so we're gonna call this one Scraping the Bottom of the Barrel, and then the next one's gonna be We Didn't Even Think the Barrel Could Be Scraped Below This.
Like, we didn't even try.
We went past the bottom of the barrel. We've broken it.
I call it...
And then the third one will be called We Broke Past the Bottom of the First Barrel into the bottom of the barrel that was underneath it.
The barrel is just completely disintegrated now.
No, we burned the barrel. We filled it with gunpowder.
Okay, there's something to talk about. These assholes. These assholes, like, they basically just blow air at your Pikmin, but the air, like, the air, it turns the flower Pikmin back into leaf Pikmin.
Yeah, that's annoying. And there's Peach's crown.
Yeah, that's Peach's crown. It's kind of hard to, and it's also kind of hard to get.
Yeah, it's really annoying to get. I have the armored cannon beetle or whatever.
Yeah, there's an armored cannon beetle there.
Yeah, that guy screwed me over.
Yeah,
Oh.
I just used purple Pikmin to get him.
Oh no.
Purple Pikmin are your best friends.
Oh no, not this cave.
Oh. Yes.
Also, I just remembered another
Yep.
really bad
The Frontier
creepypasta
Cap.
that we will definitely have to read in the. I just remembered another really bad creepypasta that we definitely have to read in the future. It's called Isoi,
What?
which is Yoshi spelled backwards.
Okay.
Wow.
It's about a haunted copy of New Super Mario Brothers 2, and it's pretty great.
Wow.
But that'll be after Hell Fox 64.